What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button for me. Alright, I am going to be doing my next episode of Versus. And this is one that I didn't really plan. I happen to have this knife here, which I gotta say, this knife was donated to the channel by my buddy Jason, aka Puerto Rican with a Knife. I'm going to link his Instagram and his YouTube channel in the description below. And I happen to have this knife here also, the Mallery Designs Phorus, which was sent in to me by Eugene, aka Mr. Krabs. I'm going to link his Instagram below also, and give both those guys a follow for me. And I happen to have both these here at the same time, and I started looking at them and handling them, and I was like, man, the Phorus is like one of those knives that's like a unicorn, right? It's hard to get one. There are only 200 of these made. It's a very good knife. I have a review of this also, overview of this and of this. But, you know, after having them both in hand, looking at the blade shapes, I was like, man, if you can't get a Phorus, you have no hope of getting one. Is the Pinion viable? You know, is a viable competitor? Obviously, they're in two different, you know, categories as far as materials go. Blade steel and handle material and pocket clip and everything. But when you look at these two knives, you look at the blade shape, they're not too far off from each other. Definitely have a little more belly on the Phorus than you do on the Pinion. The Phorus is a little thinner than the Pinion is overall. But not by too much. I mean, half a scale thickness thinner. Weight is comparable. We'll be weighing them in a minute. But, you know, when you lay these two good knives out by each other, you know, you could get by with either one of these knives, in my opinion. I think I'm one of those people that I just had the opportunity to get a Phorus, but a friend of mine is getting it instead. A friend that's been very helpful to me. I'll let him get that one. I'll get another one down the road. But it's a hard knife to get, and if you really like the Phorus, I think you should check out the Pinion. I really do. Both have a forward finger choil, although they're done a little differently. You know, they don't feel too differently in hand, honestly. They both have fantastic ergos. You have this spot here on the Pinion where the blade ramps up a little bit. Your thumb lands there. Feels good right there. You do not have that on the Phorus, but you know, you can still reach out on the Pinion like you do the Phorus. And I think these knives, I would recommend buying this knife if you can't find this knife. If you like this knife, you want something similar, I think the Pinion's a great alternative, honestly. I think it's a fantastic alternative. Let's check the weight on these. I'll give you the specs real quick and then we'll check the weight. The Pinion's overall length is 7 3/4 inches with a blade length of 3.4 inches and a blade thickness of 120 thousandths. The Phorus overall length is 7.9 inches with a 3.5 inch blade that weighs 3 ounces. So it's a little bit lighter weight. You got more cutting edge on the Pinion for sure, because the choil here, you know, it's all in the blade, this choil. This choil's split between the scale and the blade, which gives you much more cutting edge. This is M390. This is 14C28N. I do want to verify the weight because, man, they feel really close. Feel really close to each other to me. I guess 0.4 ounces isn't that much, but I'm sure I'm wrong as usual when it comes to weight, but I'm going to check it and verify. Alright, Phorus 3.1, 3.0, right in between 3.0 and 3.1, I would say. Normally that's what it is when it bounces like that. 3.5, so I'm probably 1/10 of an ounce over with my scale. So this was 3 and this was 3.4, so 0.4 of an ounce difference in the weight department there. You can get a replacement pocket clip for this. I'm pretty sure the Spyderco wire pocket clip replacements will fit the Pinion, if I remember correctly. This comes in 3 different colors of G10, blue, black, and jade. And then this is the micarta version. The micarta version currently sold out, but they will be getting more at some point in the future, according to Casey, who is the designer of this knife. Casey is has a YouTube channel called Knives Fast. He is Tempest Knives. He did design this knife, and he's the one putting this out there for everyone. Dylan Mallery designed the Phorus, and this is the only variation of it, and there were only 200 of them made. There is a Phorus 2 coming that's titanium with the carbon fiber inlays. It's going to be heavier, of course. I hope he makes more of this version. Really, really hope he does, because I prefer the lightweight over the heavier stuff personally. I wouldn't mind having both, but if I could only get one, I would pick, even though I've never held the Phorus 2, I know I would pick this over the Phorus 2 just because of how lightweight it is. Ergonomics are really good on both of these knives. And the normal grip back here, fantastic. Don't even know the pocket clip's there. Finger choil, fantastic. Feels great in hand. Feels really good in hand. The Phorus back here in the normal grip, I do feel the pocket clip right here on this edge when I'm in the normal grip, but honestly I'd never hold it like that. I'd hold it like this, and when you hold it on the choil, you don't even feel the pocket clip. It vanishes. Obviously there's a variation in the blade stock thickness, but not by too much. 20 thousandths I think it is. Both are on caged ceramic ball bearings. Both have ceramic ball detents. The Pinion has steel liners. The Phorus has titanium liners. I'm pretty sure they're titanium if I remember correctly. No, they are not titanium liners. They are steel liners, so they both have steel liners. Both have excellent access to the lock bar. Nice cutout here, and then the lock bar is chamfered. This one has even better access. No chamfering, but you got so much room to get your thumb in there, you don't even need it. And it's buttery smooth. Buttery smooth action on both of these knives. The detent on the Phorus is better, to be completely honest, but the detent on the Pinion is not bad. I don't know if I can fell it. That's how good it is. I can try. I don't know if I can fell it. To me, okay, I can fell it if I do it just right, but it takes some effort to fell it. You can thumb flick it, but the reverse flick is really what it's about. Same with the Phorus. You can thumb flick it, but it's meant to be reverse flicked with that long, narrow cutout there. It's just better to reverse flick both of these knives. Yeah, just so happened, just coincidence, I happen to have both of these here, and actually I own this one now, so thank you very much, Jason. I really appreciate it, brother. Yeah, both are great knives, and if you can't find a Phorus, can't buy a Phorus like me, you can get yourself a Pinion, that's for sure. I will link the Pinion below. I will link the Phorus below also. It is sold out, obviously, but I will also link Dylan Mallery's Instagram. Follow him over there to get updates on the Phorus 2 that's coming, and maybe in the future at some point in time he will make more of the Phorus. I'm hoping and praying that he's going to surprise us all, and when the Phorus 2 drops, he's going to have a whole bunch of Phorus 1s for sale. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I think if that guy was to make 1,000 of these right now, he'd probably sell out of the Phorus, honestly. That's how good the Phorus is. It's such a good knife. And $175 is not a bad deal at all for the Phorus. $82 without my discount code for the Pinion here. 10% off that, you're down like $74 for this knife. And this is a fantastic knife for $74. It is actually fantastic. So, you know, I'm not putting these two up against each other to compare one and say one's better than the other. That's not what this video is about. It is a versus, but, you know, this is a what you want and what you can actually have, you know. As my old man used to say when I was a kid, want in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up first. Maybe it's a southern thing, but, you know, you got the point. You can want all you want one of these. They're not out there. They are not out there to get, unless you get lucky. So, but this you can buy right now today, and it's fantastic. It really is. It's an amazing knife. Buttery smooth action. I have not sharpened the steel yet. I am going to put an edge on it. I can tell it already it's not laid back very far. It's probably, I would say, a 22 degree maybe laid back. I'm going to lay it back to 17 and give it a much better cutting geometry, something like I did on this vise. Give it a higher angle or lower angle bevel, and I think it'll be better. Closer to what the Phorus is. The Phorus looks like it's at about a 17. The Pinion's probably 22 would be my guess. But it cuts fine. It cuts great. It's a very toothy edge on the Pinion. We're going to see how it handles a 17-degree edge, though. I think it's going to handle it extremely well. So what do you guys think? You see similarities here? Obviously, every knife is similar to some knife at this point. You know what I mean? They all somebody takes something from every other knife. You know, it's impossible to make something that looks like absolutely nothing else unless you use magnets. Then I think it's possible. But other than magnets, you know. But yeah, you see, and to me, I don't know. I think it's a great alternative. So, and I highly recommend the Pinion. It's a fantastic knife. I don't know Casey. I'm not sponsored by Casey. Casey has asked me to make this video. I don't know Casey at all. So, but I know he made a great knife, and this thing's really good. So if you haven't got one of these yet, you may want to consider picking one up. I highly recommend it. And if you get lucky enough to find one of these, don't pass up the opportunity. Get the Phorus. If one comes available to you for some reason, and you're on the fence about it, don't be on the fence about it. It's a great knife, man. Great, great, great knife. I'll be sad to see it go and send it home to its owner. That's how much I love this one. It has exceeded my expectations. It was on my grill list. It's moved higher up my grill list now. So, yeah, fantastic. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me. And I will see you guys on the next one.